and functionality of the JVR turbine tower or satellite dish. JVR technology comes from a thorough study of the use of solar energy to produce different types of energy. Since the year 1999 comes perfecting with different projects and patents to the realization of a solar turbine which has the distinction of working with any type of fuel, gas or liquid. The JVR solar turbine has two main components, a compressor and turbine which run their flows against address, one against the other. The interior of one of the key pieces is composed of tubes with a small gap between them. They have to be thin, resistant to expansion and good conductors of heat. Tubes collect air from the compressor in the rear and direct it towards the sensor where solar radiation is concentrated. The air that passes through these tubes is isolated from the air that leaves by the turbine motor in the direction of the exit through the center holes, so that the hot and compressed air has realized its function of expanding and rotate the turbine by the action of the heat provided by solar radiation, passing between at very high temperature. The air, in search of an exit, passes through a coil that uses waste heat to heat water or salt for later use in homes or thermal energy. The system has a closed plate. This central component makes the function of double heat exchanger, separating air, liquids or salt between turbine, motor, compressor and hot air vent into the output of the turbine. It has great efficiency in contrast of what normal turbines and a large difference to best in the similarity of the steam turbines. This piece works overheating the intake of air, the part where it receives more solar radiation, but at the same time it is a fuel injector which is fed by a pump. By day it feeds by solar radiation, and where there is no sunlight, it turns on a pump that emits fuel to the injectors and set the fuel through an arc of high voltage. JVR technology can generate in its turbine up to 15 kilowatts an hour with parable, and the energy that you want placing them together in parallel up to 20 megawatt with tower. JVR tower technology needs mirrors or heliostats to focus the radiated energy and a sensor at the top of the tower, being its height depending on the properties of mirrors in order that they do not shade. They use two motors for up to 1,000 mirrors, another 3 small hinges for fine adjustment in concentration, so they require less land space, lower price and great support to high wind speeds. The JVR turbine does not consume water for its operation. It can be installed in areas of high environmental temperature. The JVR turbine has the option to produce thousands of liters of drinking